Hello everybody. In this little video, I will show you how you can fill out the 2019 tax return form all alone without asking help from others. First, I would like to remind you that this video is especially aimed at people who are in the situation of exile, for example, the asylum seekers, refugees, and people who have been refused asylum. Domazil supports and helps the refugees and asylum seekers in their administrative procedure and for their social rights. But because of the current health crisis created by COVID-19, we are not able to physically accompany you for a few days or even a few weeks. But don't worry, through this video, we will give you all information you need to fill out your 2019 income tax return form. You will see how simple it is to do it. So first of all, about the form. As you know, the tax declaration form has 6 pages. The first page is about your personal details, your name and your addresses, and a space to put the date and place and your signature. The second page is about your marital situation and about your family. The third and fourth pages are about your income details. The fifth page contains the important information for those who are making the tax declaration for the first time. And the sixth page is simply a certificate to fill in if you have an accommodation in France. So we will fill out this form page by page and we will do it together. So let's start. We are at the first page. For the purpose of this form, let's say your name is Baba Saheb and you are declaring your income tax for the first time in 2020. Check this box which says that you are declaring your income for the first time. For your information, if you have already declared your income last year or previous years, you do not check this box. Instead, you have just to put your FIP and tax numbers here. These numbers you will find in your tax notice that you have already received from the tax office. Also, if you have these numbers, you can do your declaration on internet. In the État civil part, check the box of your sex, monsieur or madame. Write your name, Baba, your first name, Sahib, your date of birth, let's say 01/01/1970. If you are a foreigner, you do not need to write your place of birth here. Just write the name of your country, let's say Nepal. Below you put your name again, Baba Sahib, your telephone number, and your email if you have one. If you are married and if your wife or your husband living with you here in France, you fill this part with the name and date of birth of your husband or your wife. If you are married but your wife or your husband is not with you, that means he or she is living in your country, do not fill this part. In the address part, write your address you had on 1st of January 2020. For example, on 1st of January, you had your address at 3 Rue de la Maillerie, Domazil number 7810, 93 200, Sandani. If you are using the address of an association, you do not need to check these boxes. Here you can just mention domiciliation associative and the name of your center as domicile. If during the year 2019 you had changed your address, write the date when you changed your address and your old address here. And finally, if you have changed your address in 2020, write the date and your current address here. The audio-visual tax. This is an important part. In France, everybody who has a television in his or her house has to pay an audio-visual tax. In your case, if you are domiciliated in an association, you don't have a house, therefore you don't have a television. So you must check this box saying that you don't have the television. Here you write the name of the place where you are filling this form from, the date when you fill the form, and your signature here. You leave these two boxes unchecked. The second page, here you give details of your family situation, married, divorced, bachelor, etc. If you are married and your wife or your husband living with you in France, you check this box. If you are bachelor or married but your wife or your husband is not with you in France, check this box. Here, give the details of your children. If they are with you here in France, if they are living in your country, leave this space unfilled. Page 3 and 4. In this page, you have to write your income. If you have worked in 2019, write here your total net taxable income for the year. Even if you did not have an employment and have earned just little money by doing little work undeclared, or received some help from some association, you should write the estimated amount you got in 2019. You should not mention zero as your income. If you do not work but you receive only RSA or allocation for handicapped person given by the CAF, you don't have to fill the page 3 and 4. You can nevertheless mention it under the information in the end of the second page as RSA, AAH, etc. If you are an asylum seeker and receive the allocation of asylum seekers, ADA, given by the OFI, you have to write here ADA and put the total amount you receive in 2019. Page 5 and 6. If you have an accommodation in a hotel or in an accommodation center, you have to fill in the accommodation certificate given in the page 6 and get it signed by the person or the center accommodating you. If you use the address of an association, attach a copy of your attestation of domiciliation with the form. If you are declaring your income for the first time, you have to join 3 documents with your declaration form. A copy of proof of your identity, carte de séjour, récépissé, attestation de demandeur d'asile, or any document of identity if you have one. The attestation of accommodation or an attestation of domiciliation of an association, and the third, a bank account number, that is RIB. Finally, here are few questions you would like to know the answer. What income to declare? Everything except few allocations given by the CAF as RSA, prime d'activité, allocation for the handicapped person, etc. Where to send your tax return form? Send your tax return form to the tax office where you have your address on the 1st of January 2020. If you change your address in 2019, you have to send your declaration to the tax office of your ancient address. What is the last date to send the tax return form? The last date to send the tax return form is 12 June 2020. What to do if the income tax office has sent you the form already filled in with your income details? If you have received the tax form already filled in with your income details, you have to rectify it if it is not correct and send it back to the tax office. If there is nothing to rectify, do not send anything back to the tax office. What to do if the income tax office has sent you the form already filled except your income details? If you have received the tax form already filled in except your income details, you have to complete the form with your income details and send it back to the tax office. That is all for the filling up the tax declaration form. Hope that this video was helpful for you. Do not forget that you have up to 12 June 2020 to send this form. If you have any question related to asylum and refugee status in France, you can check out our website www.domazil.info. You can also ask your questions through this website. We will answer you as quickly as possible. We also provide important information about the COVID-19 in different languages. For the update information COVID-19, check out our COVID special website www.domazil-covid.com. Take care. Bye bye.